I'm a fairly recent entrant to the EV space, but already in that short time I have seen some unbelievably ridiculous ideas, such as electric semi-trucks which need to charge up for hours, battery swap machines which look like some Rube Goldberg contraption, and under-road charging, which costs millions of dollars per kilometre and is woefully inefficient, which stretch the credibility of even the most evangelical advocate for electrification. These ideas, as I've said before, would never usually get past the stage of a junior school science project. But due to the fire hose of net zero subsidies of taxpayer money, these mad schemes actually make it into production. Previous videos linked in the description. But now I think we have reached peak idiocy with a US plan to convert its military vehicles to electric propulsion, so we can save the planet while fighting for our lives. Seriously, can this nonsense get any more ludicrous? Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer turned Sydney YouTuber. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell and drop a comment down below. Why, in God's name, do we need zero emissions military vehicles? Please, let me know in the comments if you have any idea. Are we trying to reduce CO2 whilst fighting a war? Are we trying to improve air quality whilst fighting a war? Are we trying to be more efficient whilst fighting a war? The answer to all of these is nobody gives a shit about any of these things when you're fighting for your very survival. Can you imagine you're in a battle with some future enemy, perhaps Russia, perhaps China, who knows, and a line of troop carriers gets stuck in a tactical standoff for maybe hours or days? If these were regular diesel vehicles, they would be able to idle for ages just sipping fuel, keeping the occupants safe. But if they were electric vehicles, the batteries of our eco-friendly trucks would gradually and inevitably discharge to nothing and turn our brave fighting men into sitting ducks. Excuse me, Mr. Chinese General, do you mind if we just put this war on pause for about 6 hours while we charge up our trucks? Would that be okay? I can't imagine Russia is worrying too much about its carbon footprint whilst in Ukraine. China would be the same. In fact, no armed forces of any country, being of sound mind that is, would consider environmental and sustainability concerns when developing military hardware. But the United States is, apparently, not of sound mind at this time, according to this article from National Defense magazine. As tactical EV plans take shape, Army charges ahead, Marines stay cautious. The Marines expressing caution is probably the understatement of the week, because being at the forefront of operations, they know what an absolutely batshit crazy idea this is. Let's continue. When green energy entrepreneur and researcher Tom Holm invited Defense Department personnel to a first-of-its-kind tactical electric vehicle expo he had organized in San Diego last September, some 500 stakeholders and decision-makers from across the military services showed up, eager to hear from panels on swift charging advancements and expeditionary fleet electrification challenges. The event was so well received that it's expanding in 2024, with a transition from TEVx to TEVCon, a full-blown convention for those invested in the challenge of weaning the vehicles that carry troops into combat off their conventional fuel sources in favour of more green and sustainable electric power. I'm sorry, but just one question. Who gives a flying f*** about sustainability when you're fighting a war? This is insanity. And of course, the Army and Marines aren't buying it. This show of interest comes despite clear misgivings from the Army and the Marine Corps, the Defense Department's primary purchasers of tactical vehicles, about the readiness of tactical EV technology and the way forward to development and acquisition. Last June, Lieutenant General Ross Kaufman, Deputy Commanding General of Army Futures Command, said, "The technology does not exist to create an all-electric tank that can charge in the tactically relevant 15-minute time window the service wants. The 17 megawatt generator such a tank would need to meet this target would burn more than 1,200 gallons of diesel per hour, according to analysis from the Institute for Energy Research." So it would have to be charged by diesel anyway. There's no sustainability or climate benefit. It's just a pure electrification grift, with absolutely no strategic or tactical benefit either. For its part, the Marine Corps maintains it still has no requirement for an all-electric tactical vehicle, preferring to invest in fuel-saving retrofits and cautiously develop a hybrid truck while waiting for technology to mature. At the same time, the services are under pressure from within and without to solve these problems and make serious headway towards total electrification of their fleets. In 2022, when the services were more bullish on the timeline for adopting electric tactical vehicles, the Pentagon adopted a sustainability plan laying out steps to move towards the White House's goal of making every vehicle in the US military climate friendly. It's a White House goal. Now it makes perfect sense. This rubbish comes from the administration of that senile old fool currently masquerading as the president, who puts making military vehicles climate-friendly above what? I don't know. How about defending the country? It's a long article linked in the description, and I don't intend to go through the whole thing. It's far too depressing for words. I worked in the UK defence industry back in the day, alongside many serving army officers. And I'll tell you one thing, they will do everything in their power to protect the safety of the men under their command. This military electrification nonsense does nothing except jeopardise the safety of the Army's fighting men. And when the crunch comes, I can guarantee the top brass will have nothing to do with it.